morning, Scott.
Hey, Mr. Nesbitt, how you doing today? Mr. Nesbitt! What did you just do?
I just threw my apple core away. I just finished eating a
Why did you
delicious,
throw
healthy
it in
apple.
the trash can?
Well, isn't that where apple cores go?
No, Mr. Nesbitt, at Oaks Road, we have a composting
Oh,
bin.
composting.
Yes, so...
Composting? What is composting? Well, the short answer is composting is copying nature's way of making soil. That's right, soil. Specifically, humus. You're probably asking yourself, how does my apple core, banana peel, leaves, or even paper become soil? Well, that's a good question. How does this happen? Well, have you ever heard of recycling? You know how putting your aluminum cans, plastic bottles, newspapers into bins so that they can be used again and again? Well, composting is very similar. It's nature's way of recycling. All those nutrients, sugars, and minerals that are in those dead leaves, apple cores, watermelon rinds are changed right back into the soil thanks to decomposers like earthworms, pill bugs, maggots, and tons of other microscopic bacteria and fungi. Those dead leaves, apple cores, orange peels, corn cobs, and even eggshells still have nutrients and minerals in them. These things would normally break down or decompose on their own over time eventually, but composting helps the natural process along. Notice the decomposition of this banana peel that I put in the garden over the course of 6 weeks. What happens to the banana peel? How does it change? What's going on? The composting bin or the container creates the perfect conditions for decomposition to happen at a much faster rate. It provides the correct amount of green material, such as peelings and weeds, and brown material, such as leaves, paper, and straw, along with a smaller space, moisture, and air to make decomposition happen a lot faster. Why should we compost? After all, it can be a little bit gross and smelly, but did you know that if everyone composted their organic scraps at home instead of sending them to the landfill, we could reduce our landfill by 50%? Why is that important? It's important because if we compost, there are fewer landfills, which means there are fewer greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane. Basically, composting is just good for the earth. Plus, composting creates soil. Not just any soil, though, but soil that has lots of nutrients. That means we don't have to add chemical fertilizers to the soil to create nutrients. So we won't pollute the water in lakes and rivers with those chemicals. Have you ever noticed how many sticks and twigs and bark and other things that look like they came from your yard are in your bag of soil? That's because they came from your yard. At one time, the soil that's in the bag was once a leaf, part of an apple core, banana peel. That's the result of composting. The organic scraps that we're composting now are going to create great soil for our garden when it's time to plant this spring. So let's get started, Oaks Row. You'll see silver cans all around the school that say composting. So put your organic scraps in, add to the collection. But first, let's take a look at some of the things we can and can't compost.
Composting.
Yes, so you can put your apple core and all of your food scraps in the
Excellent.
composting
That's good to
bin.
know. That's great. So this apple core can be composted and can be put in the composting bin. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
And I bet you could share more with our owls about composting and how our composting bin is going to work at Oaks Road.
Yes, that's a great idea. Wonderful.
Virtual-
Composting.
Virtual high five. Woo!